Welcome everyone to the Dragoons Lair podcast. Welcome back to our 99th episode and precursor to probably the greatest Bad Bunny concert coming up later today at the time of recording this because, welcome to Super Bowl Sunday.
Let's hear it for Benito.
Well, I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me, once again, the family man himself, the incomparable James Haynes.
I'm coming out of the sphere, and I don't know what the best guest live on that is, but here I am.
There you go. So we are back after a week of technical difficulties, being snowed in. Welcome to Mother Nature's revenge, ladies and gentlemen. There's no such thing as climate change, and then 10 years later, the Dragoon's Lair is basically snowed in and then filled with technical difficulties. You know, one of the main reasons why we had technical difficulties was also we were pretty sick. You know, there was this horrible documentary movie that came out. You know, it was called Melania. I don't think anyone saw it, but from all the reviews that I've seen...
Reviews? Yeah, these are... Do you know
there is no review.
There is no review. It was 7 in Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, it got that low?
Yeah.
And I don't even follow Rotten Tomatoes listings. So, yeah. So, you know, we've got...
And it still made $7 million.
But, yeah, no... Well, no matter what, it's still estimated to lose a shit ton of money. But no, so we do have a good documentary to talk about.
Yes.
We've got the Mel Brooks documentary.
Absolutely.
The two-parter that's on Netflix.
HBO Max.
Sorry, because we've got the Depeche Mode concert that I thought was a documentary, but that one is on Netflix.
Yes.
And then we have Fallout.
From Amazon.
Yep, and that one we will be discussing the full season and that finale, so there will be spoilers. So just be advised, this is a spoiler zone, folks. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone who is rejoining us for this special episode because our next episode will be our 100th episode.
The C note.
So yeah, so thank you everybody, and let's just jump right in. So I want to first make one little thing. I want to congratulate several people, Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns for winning the Royal Rumble. I also want to go and say we are so sad and disappointed that AJ Styles has had his WWE retirement match. We'll see how long that sticks. But I also want to say, Sami Zayn, you deserved better, but you put on a hell of a match. And now... and that was a fast Royal Rumble cover. But... I know. You know, yeah.
Because there were still empty seats in that house.
Oh, they claimed there were. They claimed there
25,000?
They said it was the lighting because they put LED lights on there.
Yeah, and Oscar Mayer is not baloney.
It's Bologna.
That too.
Now, I want to do a couple of anime recommendations. So what I do have, like, out of the couple of animes that we've got the new fall season, and I want to recommend...
You mean the winter season?
Winter, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, fall ended. It was...
Damn snow.
Yeah, the snow's really throwing me off this time of year. But no, so we've got two anime that I want to discuss. And the first one is Jack of All Trades, Party of None. Now, this one is...
Sounds so cool.
Well, no,
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's basically, the concept is you have a bunch of adventurers. They have their classifications of the front line, the fighters, and all that. And this one guy, he switched from being a fighter to an enchanter, so casting spells. He gets kicked out of his party, goes back to being a swordsman, and in doing so, he is basically able to use multiple styles, multiple strategies. So he really is a jack of all trades, but he doesn't have a party. It's actually been pretty good, and I believe it's about 4 or 5 episodes in
on Crunchyroll. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying this so far. But then we have a number 1 contender for early on for what could be the best new anime for 2026, which is Sentenced to be a Hero. Sentenced to be a Hero is basically a world where your punishment is to be a hero because they will they will resurrect you every single time you die.
What is it, Groundhog Day?
Pretty much, but no. But the more they do it, you start to lose parts of your memory and pieces of yourself. But so that's the punishment. But they're not even taking on like a demon lord in the normal sense. They're kind of like these fairies that are like. It's hard to describe like the creatures because it's almost like it's an infection on these fairies and stuff. It's weird, but the animation is so amazing. Like trying to lock down this after just 5 episodes, and it's coming out dubbed immediately. So each episode has been dubbed on their release, which I do have to say, Crunchyroll, you've gotten worse and you jacked up your prices. I get it. It's a $2 price increase. However, your app is showing blank spots, not showing the titles for things. You're not releasing the anime when it's supposed to have its subtitles. They're not there, or it says it's an English dub, and then there's only subtitles. You guys are relying on AI a little too much. You are falling into the slop, and you are not doing the right thing from your subscribers. So you guys need to kind of step it up. I am supporting you guys by paying for my subscription because I want to see all the latest anime, but at the same time, you guys have to understand that you're going to raise your prices, but you're going to give even lesser service than what you're already doing.
That's not good.
No. So you need to be able to up the ante a little bit, if you will.
And like I told you, Netflix has been starting to get some anime. Max has already had the anime. Peacock has some anime. I mean, get with the guys.
Disney's got anime, but they never promote their stuff.
I know. I don't even promote Disney that much anymore.
Yeah, well, I know you got rid of your subscription.
Yeah.
So we've kind of had to put Wonder Man on hold.
Don't get me started.
I didn't start. I tried to start it. I had to stop only because it felt a little too real for seeing an actor in the very first episode overthinking the role itself. Because this is the thing about Wonder Man that I noticed, like, just within the first, 10 minutes of the episode. It's that love of movies, love of acting, wanting to be, on screen, which I think a lot of people can resonate with. And then he's on set, making nice with the director, making nice with the co-star for the scene. And then he wants to add layers to the scene and the dynamics, which works in a certain level. But I had to stop when I could see the director's frustration, because I've dealt with this as a student film projects and stuff, where somebody who has a bunch of ideas, and they may be good ideas, but you're overloading things and making things more complicated. And you could see that Wonder Man was doing that.
Speaking of that, I know I'm not watching anything, but I seen on YouTube a little blurb, like their little snippets. Do you realize that Sir Ben has been in 3 different Marvel franchise character movies and shows and everything?
Yeah, well, in the
Iron
Marvel
Man
Cinematic Universe, Iron Man 3, Shang-Chi,
and now this. Trevor's just a lovable character.
Yes, but it's also Sir Ben Kingsley. So,
yes. Listen, you can't say anything else about him because he's marvelous.
Yes.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. So now we're going to jump right in and go right into the Depeche Mode concert.
Yes.
So now, Jimmy, we want to start us off with this?
All right, so everybody's aware. If you thought this was a documentary, sorry, Dan.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, I thought too, but I was shocked. But actually, it gives little blurbs in between, little insights on stuff, like if you see the televisions, it explains the television.
Yeah, if you go and you speak Spanish.
See?
Because you had to turn the subtitles on, even though it says that it's in English. It said English. You can't put English audio if you don't have English audio.
I know. But this concert was 2-part, took place in Mexico City. beautiful concert, and you could tell how the fans interacted with them, with the sing-alongs and everything. And it's just an amazing insight to see a Hall of Fame band still has never lost it in a way, and are still pushing, as they were in the 80s, their alternative music, which is amazing. They always keep I've always heard people, when they've done reviews of their concerts, saying, great concert, I was up dancing the whole time and everything. I could see that in the audience and everything. It's just amazing. Just amazing. These guys still are bringing it and everything. I mean,
Yep.
these down the line, I wouldn't be too shocked if they get a Vegas residency somewhere.
Well, that's the thing. When it comes to Depeche Mode, I feel like they're very underrated. Mm-hmm. It's like, we know some of their songs. You may not recognize them right off the bat, but Russell was actually one of the people who really got me more into Depeche Mode, because he exposed me to some of their other songs. I had only known a couple of them, and then I started falling down that rabbit hole. And I have to say, Depeche Mode is one of those bands that you really can enjoy it, and their music kind of transcends each generation that we've passed into. And I mean, Enjoy the Silence is one of my favorites.
You heard the sing-along during the chorus. Yeah. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. But
that is beautiful.
Enjoy the Silence is one of their best, most recognizable songs. They have a bunch of other ones, but it really was one of those that I was glad to see that one made it into the concert. But they have so many songs. I was enjoying it as a concert, but because I had the mentality of, this is a documentary. Because that's kind of what they made it look like it was. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, this reminds me of back when I used to work in the old video store in the mall, when we used to sell the VHS tapes of the concerts. So
yes,
I didn't really buy any of those. I think I maybe bought one or two of them, because it was like you could see, it was basically watching the music videos back then, or if it was a concert footage. So that's basically what this really was here's the concert, but it's not just the concert. It's a little more from them doing their concert down in Mexico.
Yeah.
And they put on a great performance. You know, I do wish that they would have had English dialogue for the people talking.
Yeah.
Because it would have been nice to not just to actually hear what the fans had to say, because we're listening to some of them when they were talking to them, but you have to sit there and read it. So it was something that I was like, I was just disappointed because you said English audio and then there's no English audio.
Only when they spoke.
Yeah, but that was the thing. It was like only when specific people were speaking did you have English dialogue. But other than that, I mean, very interesting concert.
I downloaded this concert right onto my iMusic as soon as it was done. I
actually really liked the effect that they did of the orb behind them.
Yeah,
which I'm sure you appreciate the sphere.
Oh yeah, including even the TVs behind.
Yeah. But being able to see the projected, so it gave that very cool effect of like this 3D projected image over them and behind them. It was something that I think if you've liked any of their songs, you'll enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things where there were a bunch of other songs that I think would have made it through just as well. But they focused in on, I think, a few newer songs because I wasn't too familiar early on. And then they started getting some of the other songs in there that were a little more recognized.
They had a really nice rendition of Personal Jesus, too.
Yeah.
That was good.
That one is one of their other songs that really sticks out.
Oh, yeah. Even the video on that.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. It's, you know, now that MTV is no longer music television because they've done away with their music videos section of their channels there, it's one of those things where seeing this was at least like a little bit of a throwback to the old MTV days.
Yeah.
When you could when they would show concert footage for like if that was a music video in and of itself.
I mean, I remember the MTV Live channel that they used to have where you could, I mean, they used to have, you could watch Glasnost, and they showed you right before it hit. If there was Glasnost this year, they'd lead up to each week to this concert, the Rewind concert, etc. They'd be leading up to all these concerts and everything, and that's gone. And
Well, by the way, I have to say a very interesting fact that a friend of mine pointed out online, that Valentine's Day is next week, and the day before Valentine's Day is Friday the 13th. So, yeah, if you're looking for something romantical to do, why not go see a horror movie?
Melania?
No, that was a car wreck. Listen.
Wait. What's your favorite horror movie? Showgirls. That was in Scream.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And yeah.
Nah.
I know. He said that.
Not a horror movie, but not a good movie either.
No, I still like when Lilith said that.
Yeah. Well,
that's Shaggy for you.
Remember, we do have coming out this month, I believe, is the new Scream movie.
Did you hear the plot to this movie?
Oh, absolutely. It's been all over TikTok, all the advertisements for Scream 7. And, yeah. I'm going to see it. I know I'm going to see it.
We all are.
I'm just not sure if it's going to get me into the theater. But then again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the theater if I have to walk through another feet of snow. So this was nearly a foot of snow, and I do not feel. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we don't have any snow. So
no, they're calling for an inch. These Grinches are calling for an inch.
Yeah, that's what Melania called. Oh, we're not political, but I got to take a few pot shots here.
We all got to take a pot shot at this movie.
Well, it's not even just that. When you actually look at the way everything surrounds this. Now, when you take a look, the Melania movie was being produced by MGM, which was financed by Bezos, since Bezos and Amazon own MGM. And we have to see that Bezos is willing to lose a lot of money because no one...
72 million.
Yeah, 75 million.
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's losing... because it only made it only made like 2 million so far. So
there was a screenshot set up on one of the news shows, and it showed 42nd Street, the AMC theater where it had the two theaters. And you know how they tell you, like, when you go to the theater, it's like, which section you want? All the blues or the empty seats?
Yeah.
Guess what?
They were all blue. Yeah.
Including the handicap section in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I'm like, why did they show that one?
Because they wanted to show no one was going to go see this. This is the thing that documentaries can be very interesting.
Yes.
Depending on your subject. However, this subject was not interesting. This subject was something that no one cared about. I don't think you're going to get anyone to go see this. When it comes out on streaming, it will be filled with reviews from bots because no one's going to see this.
Supposedly somebody bought a lot of tickets and were giving them out free to people, including senior centers.
And that's why it made 2 million.
Yeah.
That's it. Because they were handing out tickets because no one wants to be seen buying tickets to this movie. Because I'm sorry, but I don't care. I just don't care. When you look at this is not a documentary. This is watching an absolute car wreck. If you've seen the Melania movie, I would like to actually hear from you, because this is something that, frankly, this is going to be on my list of movies I will never watch. However, if you are willing to all go out there and sign a petition, if you're willing for us, if you send us enough information, like emails and stuff and comments that we should start a Patreon, you guys go, I'll start a Patreon. If you guys are willing to pay, and I mean, we would need to hit a goal that we will determine if this happens, I will watch Titanic. The movie I have never watched, have no desire to see, and am very proud of never watching. The only way that I will do this, and to prove it that I will do this, I will watch it while I stream on Twitch. So you will all be able to watch my misery in watching this movie, because it's something I don't want to do. But if you are interested, you can leave us a comment on Dragoon's Lair Official's Instagram page, but you can also on the Facebook page, or send us an email at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
So now wait a minute here. Time out.
Go ahead.
Time out. Okay. Now, Melania hit number 1. I remember the original. Now,
Melania never hit number 1.
No. For you not to watch. No, for you not to watch.
It's number 2.
Okay.
Just like
Titanic. But wait. Now, also on that list is, I'm just going to give the genre of gangster. Am I correct?
Depending on, you can say it. Go ahead.
Godfather, Goodfellas, Godfather 2.
I've seen Godfather, Godfather 2, and Goodfellas.
Oh shit. Okay. So he's down to 2. Okay. Retraction.
So there are 2 movies I have never watched that I have zero desire to see.
And I still have never seen the whole Final Destination, so.
I've seen every one of those.
I know. I still have never seen it. And to the gentleman that has said on the last one that he hasn't seen the Rocky, listen, I feel for you, man. Don't worry. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay.
No.
I know people that will not watch. What is it we've all said? They will not watch the Wizard of Oz or the Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because of the Munchkins, the Dwarves, and the Oompa Loompas. And I'm like, why?
There are some people who have a fear of little people.
I know.
Which, in all honesty, if you have a fear of little people, then you must also have a fear of children. Because you just have a height fear.
I know someone that has fear of little people and they have twins.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure that one out, but... And they're a cop. Retired cop. Yes.
Listen, we all have fears. That's why Stephen King's It did so well, because it preys on fears. Mm-hmm. So, there's that nice little tie in there.
Yes.
But no, I will, if we can get funding, if people are willing to make donations, I will watch something that is chosen off of a list. I will put together a list of movies I have never seen, no desire to see, that if you want to watch me suffer, we will set up a point where we either do this on the Discord group, which you can find in all of my socials, is a link to the Discord group, and you will be able to, then we'll do a stream party where you guys can all watch the suffering on my face from watching one, if not more, of these movies. And I will put out a list of all these movies, but there needs to be an interest. And to watch me suffer, you can make sure that happens. All you have to do is show your interest and start emailing us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Now, back to the relevancy. The Depeche Mode concert was, it was a good concert.
Yes.
However, it's not something I will watch again. It was, for me, it really
I'll listen to the music on what do you call.
Yeah, the music was amazing, and I will listen to the albums, but this was like a one-time watch. I do not believe that this is something I will revisit. Even though I'm going back and watching Lucifer again on Netflix for the umpteenth time. But yeah, so Jimmy, you're same camp, you're not going to watch it again? Or?
I might watch it again, but I'm always listening to it on my iMusic and everything. I mean, lately I've been addicted to because I seen a little clips on, I believe it was Instagram, and it's the concert where it's Hart singing "Stairway to Heaven" at the Kennedy Honors, which was back in about 2013, where they also honored Letterman.
Was that at the Kennedy Center while it was still open?
Yes, and it was Obama was in charge.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the good years, good years, your good years.
Yes.
And it was amazing. Jason Bonham on the drums. You can watch this video on YouTube and even download it on iMusic, and even the song. And I'm like, it's amazing.
And nothing we're talking about is of any promotion whatsoever. We're not receiving any funding for this.
No, we're just giving cheap pops. We're McFoley Juniors.
Meanwhile, notice I'm willing to basically prostitute myself by going and letting people watch my suffering.
Anybody want to see him do a whore bath in one of those church little?
No.
We're not doing that.
No. This is more the humiliation of seeing my reactions to watching movies that I have zero desire to watch and are on my no list of things I will not watch. And just so we're clear, the top 3 of these, in no particular order:
Titanic,
Melania, The Notebook.
I like The Notebook. I hate to say it. I'm sorry. But that's me.
I don't
But you
care.
know me.
Yes.
I know, but you don't have to.
Yep.
You don't have to watch it. I've already done that for you.
It was attempted, and I was able to get out of it.
Listen, I watched Mona Lisa Smiles. I don't mind. I watch chick flicks. Yes, ladies, I do.
Listen, I watch romantic comedies and stuff, but there needs to be a certain level to them. I also don't want them to be 2 hours long.
I like the 90-minute rom-coms.
Yes.
That's all.
Give me a good practical magic, which I'm looking forward to the sequel.
Yes. Finally?
Supposedly there's going to be a sequel to it.
There is a God.
Yeah, so...
That was a funny movie.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be nice to see Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman back together again.
Yes.
Now...
Maybe even Stucker Channing.
Yeah. Now, I do want to address one thing before we move on to the Mel Brooks documentary. Mm-hmm. We did have, in our time off, there was the Masters of the Universe teaser trailer.
Yes.
Now, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that you're sitting there looking at and being like, oh my God, they're taking this so seriously, or this is looking so ridiculous. It looks like they found that nice balance where some people want to go and try and not be too sure about this. This to me screams what I've been looking for. They're not taking it too seriously.
No.
You know,
they didn't push it.
And they're already showing the figures.
Yes.
So they're showing the toys that look like the actors in the movie. So
that's basically that's the best thing lately with computers and designing them and everything, because like I said, I know this wrestler that, I mean, his main job is working for Frito-Lay, but his side job that I've known for years is he worked for Mattel, and he was doing WWE figures.
No.
And now I think he was doing AEW, and let me tell you, immaculate how you design it from the computer and everything, from paper, computer,
yeah,
to even
not just that, but when you look at the figures alone, they look like the actors.
Finally,
but they've gotten so good. Like, one thing that I missed out on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection boom, because those figures, they had the faces without the masks on that looked just like all the actors. And they did such a great job with them. The wrestling figures have come a long way.
Yeah.
And they don't look cartoonish anymore.
No.
But these look amazing. They look like the Star Wars Black figures, almost, like the packaging and everything.
Yeah.
And the figures look great from what I've seen for the actors showing them off. But that teaser trailer, the sword looks perfect.
Yes.
Like, they made sure they didn't go with some alternative style.
No.
And I remember watching the Masters of the Universe live action movie with Dolph Lundgren back in the 80s, and I'll tell you right now, not for nothing, it it's not a good movie, but it's not a terrible movie either.
No.
And the thing is, though, that's all because of the edict back in the day that, you know, oh, Skeletor's army has to be made of robots because He-Man can't go and off anybody. So, but they gave He-Man a gun. So it was like, ugh. You gave him a blaster, and he wasn't as barbarian-like as we would have liked. And then, of course, you know, there was no Cringer. This one, however, we're seeing Cringer. Man-at-Arms looks like Man-at-Arms.
Idris Elba looks damn good.
Oh.
And let's talk about him.
Idris Elba
Yeah.
was a selling point for me because once he signed on, I had a feeling this was going to be good.
Yes.
But seeing him as Man-at-Arms, I feel confident that this is going to be good.
How they already... This Beast Man compared to the Dolph looks phenomenal. But...
Dolph Lundgren...
Did a good job.
Big guy. Strong, muscular. He looked great. However, this kid that's playing Prince Adam / He-Man, he looks like he's as close to what you could get coming out of the old 80s cartoon version.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to seeing what they do with this. You know, Camila Mendes, phenomenal. She looks so much like Tila. My only issue with the Evelyn costume for Alison Brie is doesn't have the skull on like the top of her headdress. But that's just a minor little thing.
That's all. But now let's talk about that elephant right in the room right now. What do you think of how Jared Leto looks?
The look is amazing.
Yes.
I don't care if people want to sit there and be like, okay, he's put out 2 bad movies recently. Okay, we get it. Morbius was a flop. And some people didn't like Tron Ares.
I liked it.
Yeah.
We liked it.
We liked Tron Ares.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, this is Skeletor. Jared Leto can go over the top with this one a little bit because it's Skeletor.
Yep.
But the effect, it looks so good.
They have Trapjaw in, and he looks like Trapjaw.
The thing is, we didn't really see Trapjaw from the front. We saw
like
from the back. So we'll see what he looks like when we get to the jaw and everything. And it kind of gave us a hint that Orko's there. So I'm like, I'm interested to see this. I want to see where they go. Because growing up throughout the 80s, Masters of the Universe was a huge part of childhood.
Yeah.
And
because you didn't have, basically back then, what you had was you had Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and Transformers during your weekday cartoons.
And it depended on the day, the
Yes.
channel, because when they got to their syndication mark of, I believe, 65 episodes,
Yeah.
they were able to just keep replaying things, so they just canceled things at that point.
Yeah.
Because they were already in syndication.
And you didn't have nothing too bad. I mean, basically, if you watched DC or Marvel, the only thing they had was the Super Friends, which was always repeats.
And Spider-Man and his amazing friends, along with
Hulk.
Spider-Man. But,
And Hulk.
Well, it was Spider-Man, then it became Spider-Man and his amazing friends. There was things back then, but the big ones that we're starting to see, the cartoons that are being made into live-action movies. I'm looking forward to Voltron with Henry Cavill.
Yes.
But Masters of the Universe, Voltron, we can't, like, if this does well, can we get a Thundercats
I
movie?
know everybody's pondering who for this one, for Thundercats. I'm like, let's get through step 1, the door.
Listen, we've had G.I. Joe movies and we've had Transformers movies. The Transformers movies usually do really well. G.I. Joe is somewhat hit or miss. And I feel like some of that's been more casting decisions than anything.
Yeah.
But G.I. Joe Snake Eyes was actually really good.
Ray Park? Oh, yeah.
No.
He was Storm Shadow.
No, he was Snake Eyes.
He was Snake Eyes.
But he was not in the movie Snake Eyes. The
No.
G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie was not.
No,
Ray
that's
Park.
right. That's right.
So it was a whole other cast, but that one was actually really good. So I would like to see what we get from a new like G.I. Joe franchise. At this point, they pretty much set up G.I. Joe to be in the same universe
as the Transformers.
So let's get this Hasbro universe going.
Yeah.
And see what they've got. But for Mattel, from Masters of the Universe so far, I'm liking the teaser trailer. It has me on the edge of my seat. I want to see this. This is one that it's going to make... I have a feeling this is going to bring that kid out in me where I might actually go to the theater and be excited to see something where it's not just me sitting there taking it all in. I might actually become part of that experience, and it's something I want to be able to have because I haven't had that since I was a kid.
That's what you need.
I'm chasing that dragon.
Everybody's chasing. Yeah, exactly.
That, yes, the
everybody's
movie dragon,
waiting.
not the
I
other
know.
guy.
Everybody's waiting for their Superman. Everybody's waiting for their chase their dragon. Exactly.
And listen, there's been some people bitching and complaining about the Supergirl teaser.
Okay. Which one?
The first one that dropped because it didn't give them what they wanted because they wanted Lobo.
Now let's talk about. I'm glad you mentioned it. Now let's talk about it.
Well, now they recut it. They showed more of Lobo.
Bring it.
And listen, the character of Lobo is going to be kind of cool, but is he a main focus in this movie? Because if he's not a main focus and you're pushing it in the trailer, we've got a problem. But everybody who's sitting there complaining about Supergirl, and it's like, that's not who Supergirl is. No, you're used to seeing Supergirl from like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. You're not used to seeing Supergirl as she is in the comics, where she's been broken. What was it? I think at one point she became a Red Lantern.
At one point, she was part of Apocalypse Army.
Yeah. So she has a very tragic backstory. She doesn't have the bright...
Excuse me, not Apocalypse, Darkseid.
Yeah.
She was on Apocalypse. Yeah, basically on Apocalypse.
But she was part of Darkseid's army, like Furies, I believe.
But now, the question, and we brought it up from the reviews. What'd you think of the bike?
Oh, the bike looks sick. Like that bike is...
I've been waiting to ask that to you.
Yeah, the bike looks amazing. Like, Momoa as Lobo looks great. And I would love to see more. But I also want a break from...
Yes.
I don't need another teaser. I don't need another trailer. You know, my mouth is already watering for this movie. I want it.
Yes.
But I'm not looking for spoilers. I want to be able to enjoy some of these things without them giving everything away.
No.
And I'm sorry to say this, but the fan backlash that made them go and do another trailer to put that out because it didn't give me what I want because Supergirl's not... It's like, you don't understand the character. Why don't you try doing this interesting little thing of see how it looks when it comes out? As opposed to what we had to deal with where... We had a Batgirl movie that looked like it was going to be really good. And then we didn't get it because it became a tax write-off. All because, we're going to put out the Flash movie that cost even more money, which was filled with nothing but controversy thanks to its lead actor, and nobody really wanted to see it. So which one was the real flop? The better decision would have been, you got a cheaper movie. Write off the more expensive movie as your tax break.
At Netflix, here's a hint. If you buy and if
this goes through completely,
bring it out. Just put it on Netflix. We will not say anything else. Yeah, that's it.
That's what we want to be able to see this movie that we weren't able to see because it was basically done.
Yeah,
they were in the editing room doing like the special effects work and stuff. So it wasn't getting like terrible reviews. It was actually looking really good. Now, speaking of really good, let's go and talk about the Mel Brooks documentary.
Absolutely.
Mel Brooks, I didn't realize so many things about his life. And the first part really focused on a lot of like his earlier days and how he got started and
in
stuff.
the Borscht Belt. And if you're not familiar with the Borscht Belt, that's upstate New York. They use that expression with all the people of Jewish faith.
Yeah,
and what
but
are they?
it was also like, you notice they kind of
Yiddish.
did that for like the Miss Maisel.
Yes.
So it's
So you caught on to that.
Yep. Because it was a lot of the Hamptons and
Yes.
stuff. So yeah.
More like not even the Hamptons is that way. It's upstate is like the Adirondacks. That's
Yeah.
what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Don't ask how I know because I've people the Neverly and all these others. That's where they used to go.
Listen, I've been up to the Adirondacks,
Yeah.
and that area is absolutely beautiful.
Especially even besides the fall.
Yeah, but in the summertime, it's absolutely
Yep.
beautiful. Now, this is like Mel Brooks. We're seeing we're hearing from his kids.
Yeah.
We're hearing from people that worked with him. You know, we're learning the early stages of his career within the first one, even leading up to him meeting Carl Reiner and doing what was it? The
2,000-year-old man.
Thank you. So, and that was an influence on a lot of comedians. And you're seeing the comedians talking about that. You know, you had Dave Chappelle bringing it up and talking about
And this is Dave Chappelle, everybody.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle,
Well,
not anybody else, but Dave. Like you'll see other comedians, but Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, you've got so many people talking about Mel Brooks's life, and yeah, I didn't know he was. It's like he had two different wives.
And Bancroft was his second
Yeah,
wife.
I didn't even realize that. That's the funny thing.
And the crazy thing was a lot of people don't understand. Well, some people do, some people don't, but Mel struggled.
Yeah.
And everything. God bless him, but Mel struggled. And it was at one point, and if you've seen the movie, you see during the documentary that his Aunt Bancroft had to hand him money on the side to pay the bill, just to show that face and everything. And it's like, because he wasn't working at the time and everything. But he is somebody, you look at him like, Mel Brooks was broke? No, that can't be. And everything. Well, if you knew about his contracts and all,
Yeah.
and everything, good. If you didn't, watch this. You'll understand more why he went from here to here to here to here to where he's staying on the balance now.
Well, listen, that's the thing. You know, he was doing more writing early on.
He was basically part of your show, Sid Caesar.
Yeah.
He was Sid Caesar's main man.
Yeah, and then it progresses on when he then starts actually getting more into films.
Yeah.
And when you see the stuff that the way they talk about him, and the way like some of the old footage, because you know Gene Wilder's not around with us anymore,
No.
but hearing about him talking about the experiences with Young Frankenstein, I mean,
They were doing it while they were filming Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
The two of them, after they leave, they go to the hotel and they're starting to write everything up.
yeah, and that was the thing. They were working so hard to make these movies. And you know what? There were some of the movies that I completely forgot were Mel Brooks movies, and because they're lesser known.
I thought To Be or Not to Be came out during the 70s before History of the World. It came out afterwards. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
I didn't even I completely had forgotten about Silent Movie.
Oh God, you can't forget it. But that one's hysterical.
But
Where they almost molest the Burt Reynolds in the shower.
But that's the thing. You don't like Mel Brooks's movies. When you honestly think of them, what are the top movies that come to your mind?
Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, History of the World, Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
And most people stop.
People forget that one.
No, people
and Life Stinks.
People want to forget
Yeah.
Dracula Dead and Loving It because it was it was on the downturn where he wasn't like the jokes weren't as good in that one, but that was more subjective.
And you also think of him as with the producers.
Yeah, the producers, and of course, like you said, was the last one.
Life Stinks.
Yes.
Oh yes.
So
that was
But that's the thing. There's like a handful of them, like 6, 7 that you really think and are really connected with Mel Brooks. And then the others, you forget that they're there, even though doesn't mean they're bad movies. It's just they're not the ones that are pushed as much as the others.
Well, you know, To Be or Not to Be was a remake.
Yeah, but I but I also don't remember even seeing it.
I've seen it. I've seen the original with Jack Benny because we had to watch that with screen comedy
Yep. I didn't
in
have
school. Miss Showhot.
I didn't have that class.
Oh, that was a good class. That was a good class. I seen that before I met you. I had that class before I met. That's how I met Professor Showhat, and learned a lot more with the Constitution of the couple and the Hays Code, etc., and all that. And we watched that. But a lot of people forget about. But now, one thing I'll laugh about and everything, for everybody that now right now at that point up till the end of, I believe it was last month, you could see History of the World Part 1, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and I believe To Be or Not to Be were all on HBO Max. Those are the big, just even the big, and Spaceballs, and those are the big ones that were on there. Everything else,
they're still on there.
no, they were like they do the
No,
turn.
some of them were still there when I was on there the other day.
So some of them are like they say leaving soon. But the funny thing, you will not find on that unless you have a Hulu account, History of the World Part 2.
But that's because that's a series that was a Hulu exclusive.
I know, and do you know that Hulu is not? I know now when they make an exclusive show or whatever, like whether it's scenes from the apartment, murder in the building,
Only murders in the building.
4 weddings and a funeral. They did the show about
five of the exact same thing.
Give or take. Well,
4 weddings and a funeral. 5 of the exact same thing.
And this have never been put onto Blu-ray or DVD for complete series or anything.
You do realize there's a reason for that. They're not releasing things because they don't want you to own them. This is part of the problem of the monopoly system that we're going through right now
with them, because Apple is finally letting out the murders at the Black Rock with Leonardo DiCaprio, the Scorsese movie he did, but they're finally letting that out on DVD in April.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Scenes of a Spotted Moon. Excuse me.
But that's the thing. The majority of the things, they're not coming out on DVD because they don't want you to own physical media, which is actually a funny thing because, we're getting off topic, but piracy is on the rise. Why is piracy on the rise? Because you're raising the prices on streaming platforms and you're not giving people the actual content.
Yeah.
And, we're going to slap advertisements on everything. I'm sorry. I get it. If you're watching a football game through a streaming app and stuff, you're watching
Raw,
a UFC fight. I get it. You are expected to see advertisements because it's live television, so to speak. But when you're watching something like a movie or a TV show and you're paying for a subscription that has no advertisements, you would want no advertisements.
Exactly.
Listen, I don't care that Tubi has commercials.
Yeah.
Because it's free.
Same thing with Pluto.
Yep, but Pluto TV is free.
Yeah.
But there's advertisements. I'm fine with that because it's free. But you want to complain. But if they're going to complain that it's like, people aren't watching our streaming services, there's a reason. You're not doing anything better. And I bring this up because, like I said earlier, when I said about Crunchyroll raising their prices, I get it. Each tier is going up $2. It's just $2.
What do you call Peacock went up $3 on the regular and their Premier line, which has no commercials.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You raise the prices, but you're not giving better service. You're not giving extra things. What you're doing is you are now encouraging people to do something that they normally wouldn't do. You know what? The only way to correct this really is release them so people can buy them. Because this is now that, and I'll say it, Dogma is now being made available to stream. It's being reissued so people can buy like a 4K version and stuff. That's the thing that people want. They want to own stuff.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Like you just said, there are things that are going to be leaving HBO Max soon enough. So when they leave, if you want to watch Spaceballs, you're going to have to wait right before they go and they put out Spaceballs 2 before it starts coming out
Or
again?
you're going to go to Amazon and watch it and rent it.
Or are you going to have to pay to rent it? Or
Yeah.
is it going to be something where now it moves over to Netflix or
Yeah.
it moves over to Peacock, like for a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
You don't know where to watch things. Even if you're using the search bar for a Roku TV or a Fire Stick, it doesn't matter. You are basically restricting where people can watch things, and that's really the biggest issue, is when you restrict how people can consume their media. Think about it. When Livewire, Napster, all that stuff was around, people were pirating music. They would get the wrong songs because someone would mislabel things. It would take forever. Your computer basically came down with its version of its own herpes virus,
Yes.
so to speak. You infected the family computer. But you were getting the music that you wanted because it was all about affordability. And if you want to be able to afford things, listen, going to the movies is already expensive, and we get it. It's a luxury. But you're selling popcorn buckets that are custom made. These custom popcorn buckets, they look really cool, but what are you really going to do with them other than collect them?
And make them dust bunnies.
Exactly. So it really breaks down to, what are you going to do with these things? You're paying all this extra money for a bucket. Or you're buying snacks at the movie theater, and those snacks are what's costing more money than the tickets cost. So it really breaks down to make things affordable. When you raise the prices because of corporate greed, because not everything needs to be a record profit. Maybe you guys just make the same profit every single year. Why does everything need to be record-breaking profits? I'm just saying, if you were nicer to your customers would be loyal, and you wouldn't have to worry that you're not gonna be able to keep them around. Or people will do what they've been doing, which is, okay, wait till a show completely ends, and then sign up for a month, and then binge it.
Yeah.
And then they cancel the subscription. How many times did I cancel my Peacock account right after WrestleMania?
Numerous times.
Exactly. So you're going to watch something, you're doing it just to be able to see it, and then you cancel that subscription. So what? You guys made your money for a month instead of keeping a steady revenue stream coming in because people want to stick with you because they trust that you're putting out good service. It's just a thought. Just a little idea, throwing that out into the ether. Maybe someone will take that as it will. Maybe someone will clip this and it'll be, hey, make your prices affordable and you'll keep your customers longer.
Yeah.
But back to the Mel Brooks documentary.
Yeah.
Hearing from his kids. I didn't even know all of his kids. The only one that I know of is Max Brooks.
Yeah.
And the reason why I know of Max Brooks is because he wrote The Zombie Survival Guide, World War Z, as well as like a bunch of other historical books, but he's also gone and he's done like a whole bunch of interviews and talk shows and stuff. So he's more out in the public eye, I think, than his siblings.
Getting back to History of the World Part 1, we were talking about that in the doctor's office the other day, how this girl had her in Queens, her parents owned Video Express. I know it's already been gone and everything, but guys would come in after History of the World Part 1. They'd see History of the World Part 2, which was at the end of it. They'd be like, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? It's like, and her father just kept up with it and everything. Like, it'll be on in a few months here. I haven't gotten a date yet. Hold on. And that's all he would do the whole time.
And I'm sure somebody also said the same thing about Spaceballs because they made the reference. Hopefully we'll see each other again in Spaceballs 2. The search for more money. So, let's see if maybe we get some merchandising off of this.
Merchandising.
Yeah, off of Spaceballs 2.
Oh, yes.
Now, we've got ourselves something to talk about that I don't know how I can discuss this. Fallout. The season 2 has ended.
Yes.
And we're going to go into some spoiler territory here. Once again, I want everyone to understand, I do not and have not played the games. I want
Same
to play
here.
the games because of watching the show.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of history and stuff that I'm going to be unaware of. But before we do anything, I would like to address one very simple thing. You know, got a comment on one of the YouTube shorts from Kirk Nelson-KM8MF, who wanted to go and tell us about how we're mispronouncing everyone's names. And, you know, I want to thank you for pointing that out. You know, sometimes if you say things quickly or you've heard pronunciations incorrectly, it kind of stays with you. So I'm sorry that I have pronounced
We're sorry.
Ella Purnell as Ellie Purnell every now and then. It happens. You know, I'm Michael Cole here. I make mistakes. You know, I call Candice LeRae Candice Michelle. No, I actually don't do that. That's a Michael Cole thing.
Yes.
But we make mistakes. It's Walton Goggins, and I've made a mistake with that. I am not even going to apologize because I've said it plenty of times that I cannot pronounce certain names, and I try not to butcher them. So
We can say acetaminophen, can you?
yes. So I want to thank you for pointing out our inconsistency in our pronunciation. So thank you for the critique. We will try to do better. Now, and thank you for listening. You know, I do look at the comments and stuff. Some of them are kind of out of context for some things. And then there are others, you know, like from me interviewing April O'Neil, where they're just funny comments of people like, he's really struggling to keep eye contact.
Keep a straight face.
It's like, no, I'm not struggling to look. If you know me, you'll know. I don't have a problem looking a woman in the eyes. That is a problem. It's like, women have faces. You know that, right, guys?
Guys, up here.
Yeah.
It's the faces.
Which, speaking of eyes, Ella Purnell, these last few episodes of Fallout, she did such an amazing job. The expressions that her eyes are so expressive, and like you could see the heartbreak of everything that was going on between her and her father.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it's like her eyes really are so expressive that you see like her performances, she doesn't need to speak for some of them just to get that same emotional resonance. And I think that's absolutely amazing. And Walton Goggins. Yes, so Walton Goggins, absolutely love this guy. His portrayal of the ghoul.
Who knew? Sorry, one more plug.
No.
I know.
He's everywhere at this point.
Yep.
But his portrayal of the ghoul is
Outstanding.
Now, I have to say, when we left off,
He was
impaled on a pole.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like the emotion that he put through that performance, not just of him like starting to like lose who he was, but retreating into the memories, going back and trying to remember these things.
Remembering how Vegas looked back then in his days.
Yeah. Which, you know, as an alternate timeline, that stuff looks so cool.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of wish we had some of those robots and the things that they have there, like, now. But then again, I wouldn't want those armor suits.
No.
Those armor suits look like they'd be cumbersome and pretty much a problem.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, the battle between the New California Republic, those guys coming in as Maximus is fighting off against those mutants.
Yes.
Those,
what a relief.
Oh, those things, I gotta say, the effects they did were absolutely amazing.
And then who would think Macaulay Culkin would become Caesar?
It was nice to see him back.
Yes, I do appreciate that. Thank heavens he's coming back to do stuff and everything.
Yeah, The first time I saw him this season and I saw that it was Macaulay Culkin, I was like,
holy
wow, what?
shit, yeah.
Like Macaulay Culkin, wow. Talk about a throwback. You know, and that's the thing. We literally went and we watched like Macaulay Culkin as a kid, and now we see him as an adult. And he went from being little Kevin McAllister, or what was the character's name in Uncle Buck?
Oh, I don't know, but he was even Richie Rich too. Remember?
Yeah, but let's not and say we did on
and
that
he
one.
was also the other kid, the brother or whatever, the step brother.
Yeah, well, the good son.
The good son.
Which
yes.
that wasn't the other brother. He was their kid, and they took in Elijah Wood's character. But no, like this was absolutely a great season, and I am so hoping that we get season 3.
We're gonna get season 3,
but I don't want to wait another like 2 years.
I know. Well, you know what's well. You've heard that since this did well.
Yeah.
I've told you that they are already working on Gods of War.
Well, they were already doing God of War.
Yeah.
The problem with God of War is the fact that God of War started off on the PlayStation and it was Greek mythology.
Yeah.
From what we're looking at, from everything that I've seen, it looks like they're going more for the more modern video games, which is more Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Which is interesting considering the fact that Kratos is supposed to be like one of the children of Zeus and starts killing off the other gods. So at least that's the gameplay mechanic, and that's what you're doing. So the fact that he is like Kratos is supposed to be the god of war, and then he's now, because I haven't played the games in a while, so but him going off and going into like Norse mythology and having boy. Because I think that's what it is.
Boy.
Yeah. It'll be fun to see them have him call him boy throughout the whole thing, unless they actually give him a name.
Listen, they call the kid in the Seven Kingdoms, what's his name? Egg?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Listen, as long as we don't have someone screaming, Kyrie! Which I'm not screaming because I don't want to blow everyone's eardrums.
Oh, no, that was hysterical, especially the video that they had of everybody going back to the locker rooms on their golf carts.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah, but no.
No, you stay, Kyrie.
But no, so Fallout, though, this season, like, the fight sequences have been one-upped, and
the story has been elevated more, and now you're going into areas 33, 31, 32.
Well, the different vaults, but it's not even just the vaults. It's knowing that someone else was pulling the strings that's even higher up than Vault Tech.
Yeah.
Even higher up than the guy in charge of Vegas. And that's the thing. It's like we're looking at everything that's going on, and there's so much more of a mystery to unlock. And they look like they're getting ready for the Brotherhood War.
Yeah.
So to have the Brotherhood War going on at the same time, like they have so much going on, and that Maximus's buddy that became a ghoul, it's like even Walton Goggins. I'm going to do this now on purpose. But Walton Goggins, him going and looking, his ghoul character looking at him while he loses an arm.
Oh, that was hysterical.
But he's got a mouth growing on like his neck and stuff. You're like, what the? No, this isn't normal.
Neither was Chandler's third nipple on Friends.
That's a nubbin.
Yep.
But no, listen, there's going to be a bunch of things that are going to go on as long as the series progresses, and I want it to progress.
Yeah.
I need a third season.
I mean, well, it looks like there's going to be the way that they show with the second ending and including his ending where he's going with the hint.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. It's going to be interesting because will the ghoul continue on, or will the ghoul leave and we're not going to see him, or will we just be following him without Maximus and everybody else? You know, that's the thing. They've left us with so much intrigue as to where things are going.
Exactly.
Especially knowing that he has a tie-in with the president. because he tried to do the right thing.
Cold fusion.
Yep, tried to give the cold fusion to the president and ends up getting arrested and treated for treason.
And then you see this congresswoman that was, where does she end up?
Headless, and her head is part of the machine.
Oh yeah.
The funny part is though, like when you brought it up, this is kind of like, that is like a kind of a throwback as like a reference to like the old Hays Code when they treated actors as if they were communists.
Mm-hmm.
And
No. The Hays Code was with the X-rated.
Okay.
The what do you call was
well, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
The Hays Code was about like the ratings, but there was, and then what was the other one that was about the blacklisting of actors?
That was with I can't think of this senator's name and everything, but he ran out. But he was all in Congress. He was basically searching for everybody.
Yeah.
He took out Trumbull.
Yeah, they took out a lot of people back in the day. Are you sure the Hays Code wasn't part of it? Because I can swear it was. But there was the loyalty, and like they had all of the different aspects being brought up.
Because they also tried to they also basically tried to basically beat the crap out of it in a way verbally, Lucy.
Listen, they went after
because they thought she was a communist.
They tried to call Lucille Ball a communist. They went after everyone. They were really looking to go after any actor if they couldn't control them, if they spoke out about anything. And it's the same thing that's kind of going on now, where it's like, oh, you're this, you're that. It's like, no, we're just people.
That was McCarthy. That was the McCarthy hearings.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the man that was looking. McCarthyism.
Yep.
He was the one that was looking for everybody and their grandmother.
Yeah, basically accusing everyone of being a communist.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he tanked a lot of people's careers.
Yeah.
And put them on a blacklist where they couldn't get work.
And at the time, while he's doing that...
Little history lesson for everyone.
Yes. Ronald Reagan was... big actor in Hollywood. Yes, he was an actor in Hollywood before he went to being the governor of California and being president. But he was also in charge of the Screen Actors Guild, and he had to put with the heat with all this and Trumbull and all that stuff. He was also the president that he had the headaches with it, especially with him.
Well, that's the problem, though. It's, that's something that they've touched on just a little bit with Fallout, just in a different way because it's a different universe.
Yes.
But they still basically were accusing him of being a communist.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, wasn't a communist. And the thing is, he met with the president. He tried to do the right thing. And in doing so, you get accused of being a communist. And now you're not going to be a famous actor anymore because they're going to screw you over down the line. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if this continues on in season 3, we'll see more of the flashbacks because he's still going to be looking for his family.
Yes.
So there is so much going on. The set pieces were amazing. The power armor suits looked great.
I can't wait for this new one that they got the...
Oh. This is going to be interesting to see what happens, especially considering Maximus was just looking for a good person, and the only good person he could really think of was like his little vault dweller.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all those other vault dwellers that came out of Vault 31.
And they were all really negative to her brother.
Yeah, and they ended, except for one.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They're all
dead.
The roaches.
Giant roaches.
Yeah. It's like the bug farm, basically. Where they're like, oh, the bugs can't be that big. And it's like, yeah.
They're big.
They were almost like the equivalent of something you would have saw out of The Mist. Mm-hmm. But they were big. They were freakish, and
That looks like something from Kong Skull Island in a way.
It was a swarm of locusts, basically, the way they portrayed them. But man, it was like there's so much going on, so much to dive into, and it's like it makes you want to play the games. this is like season 1 was really good. This was season 2
Elevated it.
They really amped everything up to the next level. And if they can continue on in this trajectory, I'm sure there'll be like a few dips and like swerves going on when they get to a season 3. But if they keep this up at the pace that they're going, oh, this is going to be...
They're in good hands.
Yeah. As long as they don't change anything, this is where they need to go. And if they can keep it up, absolutely worth it. And I honestly feel like Ella Purnell deserves to get some kind of an award for this. Her portrayal, like the emotional depth that she put in having to like hunt down her father. And then it's like portraying that like finding out what he's up to, leading up to like finding out he's not even the worst that's out there.
His wife is even the worst and everything.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it's not even her mother. She thought it was like her cousin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be an interesting season 3, and I'm just hoping that we don't have to wait another year or two to get it.
But yeah.
You know, I don't need this to be like Stranger Things where we don't see another episode for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So, but this has been like one of the best seasons that I've seen of like streaming television in quite a while. When it comes to Fallout, they've done a top-notch job. And I haven't seen every video game adapted series that they've done so far, but Fallout definitely is one of the top ones.
Agreed.
So now, Jimmy, we're going to wrap things up because, you know, we're going into a freeze warning for the next couple of days.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, we all got Super Bowl plans. So if you'd like to share your Super Bowl plans with us. And,
I'm just hanging out at home and relaxing.
Oh, no, I didn't mean you. I meant our listeners.
Oh, yes.
You know, they can always send us an email at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. And let us know what you're doing for your Super Bowl and how you enjoyed your Bad Bunny concert. Or if you decided to go over and watch Toilet Paper USA's horror show with Kid Rock, someone who's on a list. You know, a lot of people that are going to be over on this secondary one are on a very specific list. We don't know how they're part of it because, you know, there's got to figure out context to things. But, you know, when you can take the lyric from one of Kid Rock's songs, it's, you know, talking about underage ladies. Some say it's statutory. Yeah.
For everybody that plays Lotto, 4868 is a good number to play box and straight. All right, so please remember the number 4868. So enjoy.
So yes, with that all going on, you know, we there's so much entertainment to go through, and we will not be discussing the Super Bowl on our next episode. However, we will be discussing on our 100th episode. We will give you just a sampling of what we are going to be discussing. We're going to be doing 2 movies. We are going to be discussing The Rip on Netflix, and we are going to be discussing Wrecking Crew on Amazon Prime. So that's...
And I do hope by then we will also maybe have a lovely special guest to give her...
Let's keep a few surprises.
Well, it's coming up on that.
So let's go. And Jimmy, you want to give everyone your socials so they know how to get in touch
Everybody, you can reach me at Blue Sky James 0925 there. You can reach me at James SI 0925 at Snapchat, all under lowercase again, James H _ the 4th at Instagram and Threads. On Instagram, if you can reach my man at Aaron Sobel, he's got, wanted me to remind everybody, a Sobeliski Pizza Crunch. Amazing on your pizza, your pasta, anything like that. Give him a shout out. And Mr. Michael Schwartz on there. He's got the Armored book. He's got the full book now. So go to his webpage, get the insights on that. Facebook, James Haynes IV. Always reach me there. You can always check when I do my stories or click on to anything from where Nenu at Nenu, NENU_PH puts up amazing Queen and Beatles. Now you got to do some Depeche Mode, man. Beautiful pictures and everything. You'll always see that on there. And James0925 on TikTok. All right, everybody. I bid you peace, enjoy, stay warm, and for crying out loud, shovel yourself out of the crap.
And you can find me, the Blue Dragoon 13, on all my socials at Blue Dragoon 13. That would be on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, as well as Twitch. You can find links to all of my socials and everything on every single one of my socials. The link tree will have a link to everything, including the Discord group. But you can make sure the easiest way that if you want to reach out to us is by emailing us at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook for our Facebook page for the Dragoon Slayer podcast, as well as Dragoon Slayer Official on Instagram. So we're there on Threads as well. You can find Blue Dragoon 13 on Threads, the YouTube channel where you can watch all the episodes of the Dragoon Slayer podcast that we have available. There are some lost episodes early on that we do not have any video versions for, but you can listen to those on Spotify as well as watch the episodes 1 week earlier than you can see them on YouTube. But you can also listen to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, as well as Audible. So you can listen to us on any one of your favorite podcasting platforms, but when you want to see the video version because you're more of a visual person, then congratulations. You can catch us on Spotify first. 1 week later, you'll find us on, what is that again? Oh yeah, the Blue Dragoon 13 YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that will get you all a playlist where you can watch all the episodes, and we'll have shorts up and reels and TikToks all going out. So make sure you keep leaving comments on those, and you can always sign up and join the Discord group so we can possibly get a larger community going. And if you want, if I see enough of a community growing on our Discord group, then maybe I'll start that Patreon page, and you guys can torture me by going and making some donations and being able to make us, or at least me, watch a bunch of movies that I definitely don't want to see, and I really mean I don't want to see them. Jimmy can attest to the fact that I do not want to watch these
Schlock.
movies. No, I'm okay with what one professor calls schlock.
No, Titanic to you is schlock.
That's not schlock, that's shit.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, I already knew the boat sinks. I didn't really need to know the others. But if you, there are some movies that I watched once and will never watch again, but I will even put those on the list if you want to torture me that way as well. But, let's keep things going and let's be civil and social with everyone, because we're going to have to dig each other out of the snow at some point or another.
Get a bobcat. Get a bulldozer.
I would get a bobcat, but they're not in the zoning.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm actually talking about a legit bobcat.
I know,
not
but
a construction equipment.
I know. Even though there's coyotes walking through Central Park.
Yeah, but I still like a bobcat.
I know.
They're so cute.
So are tigers when they're babies.
Tigers are still cute when they're adults.
That too.
They're friend-shaped. I want to pet them. But that's just me.
Yep.
With that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, and thank you for helping us get one step closer to episode 100.
See, no.
And we will be going even past episode 100. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you would like to share your favorite moments of the Dragoon Slayer podcast and tell us what you enjoy, what you don't, the best way to do that is shoot us a message on, and you can leave us a voice note on, what is that? Oh yeah, Dragoon Slayer Official on Instagram. So make sure you leave us a note, let us know what you think about it. You can just shoot us a voice note on there, and maybe we'll play it on air. See how things go out that way. But you can always send us an email at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. All one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, each and every one of you. And remember, folks, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.
Bye-bye.